In today's video, I'm going to be discussing May and June and what they said we can expect. Also, I'd like to give a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, Healwell AI, and make sure to stay tuned as we have an exclusive interview with their CEO in just a couple minutes. That's the focus of the video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now I do want to focus on May and June and what I've been seeing in the headlines quite a bit lately as far as what we can expect during these two very important months. Number one, a very important announcement out of the Federal Reserve that is going to impact all of us and our money. Number two, higher inflation. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know you've heard me talk about this. So far this year, 2024, we've seen massively higher inflation, and they're projecting over the coming months here even higher inflation to come. So that is number two. Now, number three, projections on increases to Social Security benefits likely moving higher as well with that higher inflation that I just talked about. And I do know a lot of you here in the community receive fixed income benefits, which means more money in your pocket. Number four, increased volatility in the stock market and some great investing opportunities. Now, I do want to talk about all of these in a lot more detail, but before we do, I quickly want to get into that interview with the CEO of Healwell AI so you can clearly see the amazing things that they are doing right now. This is an awesome interview, and again, a huge thank you to Alex Dobranowski for this interview. So let's jump into it and see all the details. All right, welcome everybody, and thanks so much for joining us. We're joined by a very special guest today from today's video sponsor, Healwell AI, and we're super excited to jump into it as we do have quite a few questions. So, Alex, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we've done some research on Healwell AI, and we do see that the CEO is actually you, Alex Dobranowski, and that your stock is publicly traded on the TSX under the symbol AIDX, as well as on the OTC market under the symbol HWAIF. So, Alex, can you give us a quick elevator pitch on Healwell AI and exactly what it does?
Sure, absolutely. As you said, right, we're traded on the TSX, stock ticker AIDX, and we're a healthcare AI company that's focused on preventative care. And look, preventative care is a big umbrella term, but the area where we're focused on is early disease detection. So what our technology can do right now, the way we've commercialized and validated this tech, is we can screen clinical information and find patients that are at high risk of certain diseases. So that's what Healwell AI can do in a nutshell.
That is so cool. I really like that. That is awesome. So I do have another question. I know that there's a lot of AI that's already being implemented into various healthcare companies right now. Can you tell us how Healwell AI is actually approaching this from a little bit of a different angle versus these other companies?
Yeah, sure. And I think, as of late, right, AI is certainly very topical, right? There's a lot of companies that are using these buzzwords, et cetera. I think what separates Healwell AI from the pack, especially in healthcare, is we have some very validated technology. And what I mean by that is we've been able to build a large supporting body of evidence that supports the credibility and safety of our technology. We've had over 25 publications. We've actually had one today that was accepted in a very prestigious cancer journal that is focused on us being able to harness large language models to help find patients from a precision oncology perspective. So that's one way that differentiates us, right? Which is from a credibility and validation perspective. And we also have a commercial track record. We are currently commercially active from an AI perspective with 6 of the top 10 largest pharma companies in the world.
Okay.
That's really
awesome.
interesting.
That's very
That's
cool.
You recently reported fiscal 2023 earnings with $7.32 million in revenue. How do you expect that to grow in 2024? And also you reported cash of $19 million. And how long of a runway do you have with that?
Yeah, great questions. And look, subsequent to the quarter and everything that we just reported through earnings and our filings, right, we've done 2 transactions. So actually our trailing 12-month revenue now is just over 20 million. So we have a bit of revenue traction, which is really important from an AI perspective, right, to show credibility and that we have a bit of bulk and scale to the business. And you mentioned our cash on balance sheet. So we have enough cash, we believe, to execute against a very important strategic initiative, and this is to grow through acquisition. So we have a fairly robust pipeline at the moment, and we believe we have enough cash on hand to execute against that pipeline and some very exciting AI-oriented companies that are also focused on the same mission of ours, which is early disease detection.
That's impressive. Seriously, that is so cool.
That is very cool. Thank you.
So Alex, I do have another question for you, which is, what is in the short term for HealWell AI? And can you tell us how we can stay in contact with company updates and company announcements?
Sure, absolutely. So in the short term, we're going to be communicating basically in two different buckets. First is some organic wins on the healthcare AI side, and also from the inorganic side. So we're just about to round the corner and enter this phase now where we'll be able to telegraph some very interesting transactions that are coming up. And I've also recently, through press release and on our earnings call, also shared that, just to unlock what we have today, I'm confident that we'll be able to double our top line this year. So going from 20 million in top line to exiting the year at 40 million just with the cash we have on hand. It's a number of very exciting AI targets that we have in our sights. And then to get in touch with us, you can find us, right, of course, through our investor relations team, or find us online through social media channels, through Twitter and Instagram, etc.
Okay, Alex, thank you. Would you be able to tell us about your strategic partnership with WELL Health Technologies?
Definitely. And this is a really, really important relationship, as WELL Health Technologies is the largest healthcare conglomerate in Canada and also has a really large presence in the US. So WELL Health is a strategic investor in the company I run, HealWell. The CEO of WELL Health is also the chairman of the board of HealWell. So I think that signals just how core to WELL Health, right, the success of the company I run, HealWell, is. And further to that, we have a strategic alliance agreement in place that gives HealWell exclusive access to all the data and the huge footprint, right, and all the patient volume that's generated by WELL Health in all its jurisdictions and subsidiaries. So it's a really, really important relationship.
That's really interesting. That kind of leads into my last question. We've noticed that your management is very strong. Can you speak about some of the team members and advisors you have on your board, which I know you just did, but if you have any more you'd like to include or anything else you'd like to speak on about that?
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned that the CEO of WELL Health is now the chairman of the HealWell board. So that's really important. And we've just added recently two gentlemen, which are my co-chief operating officers, and they have a very strong pedigree, both as entrepreneurs and executives. And they're really coming into HealWell to help us as we go forward on this very strong kind of M&A activity, right, to integrate and synergize these companies. Also, my SVP of corporate development is very seasoned with a background in investment banking and capital markets. So we believe we have the right team in place here, right, from a capital markets perspective, from a corporate development perspective, and then, of course, and most importantly, an AI perspective.
Well, that's really interesting. A strong team makes like all the difference.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Alex. We really do appreciate it. Again, Alex Dobranowski, the CEO of HealWell AI. And remember, their stock does trade publicly on the TSX under the symbol AIDX, as well as on the OTC market under the symbol HWAIF. Make sure to check those guys out there as well. If you want more information, make sure to check out their website, healwell.ai. Otherwise, make sure to check out all the information that I've linked down below in this video description. And yeah, Alex, thank you so much for being here. We really, really do appreciate this. A lot of great information. And again, congratulations to you and your team. This is very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was an honor to speak with you. Thank you.
All right, now I do want to elaborate about what I've been seeing in the headlines as far as what we can expect during May and June and why these 2 months are so incredibly important. Number one, the very important announcement out of the Federal Reserve as they wrap up their 2-day FOMC meeting, which they have once every 6 weeks, and they will come out with their very important announcement to determine what are they doing with interest rates. Now remember, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know the last couple years here, they've been aggressively raising interest rates, and their last several meetings here, they've been holding interest rates steady. In other words, they have not been cutting, but yet they have not been raising either. They've just been pausing. However, interest rates are still very, very high right now, and you've heard me talk about this. This is very, very important when it comes down to the economy and all of us as well, right? If you're floating balances on a credit card right now, or if you're getting any new loans or anything like this, you're paying very high interest rates right now. And that's tough. I mean, seriously, when interest rates were very low a few years ago, sub 3% or even zero, very close to zero, it was easy to borrow money at that time, right? However, with high interest rates now, it makes it very, very difficult. However, here's what's going on. There's anticipation out there that the Federal Reserve may need to come in and start raising interest rates yet again because this inflation continues to move higher. So again, this is a very concerning situation, and we'll get more information out of the Federal Reserve in a matter of just days here. Now, number two, I do want to talk about inflation. Yeah, okay. So far this year, we've been seeing inflation moving higher and higher. In fact, you've heard me talk about it a number of times so far. We're only a handful of months into the year so far. There's a lot of 2024 to go, but we are already seeing inflation ticking up dramatically pretty fast so far this year. That's not really a good sign, right? That hinges on a lot of different decisions coming out, mostly, again, out of the Federal Reserve. Not a good situation. But anyway, inflation is likely going to continue moving higher because that is the trajectory, that is the trend, and until we see it pause, in other words, slow down, it's likely going to continue moving higher. So that's what they're expecting, especially moving into the warmer summer months. Yeah, right? Finally summer and warm months coming in here, right? But anyway, as we move into that, what do we see? Typically, we see a lot of people who are traveling, road trips, a lot of people spending more money in the warmer months. Again, typically that drives inflation higher. So again, that's a very concerning thing, but this also leads perfectly into point number 3, which is the projections on fixed income benefits. Now, maybe you've heard me talk about this recently as well. Because of this higher inflation coming in, we've been seeing projections on Social Security benefit increases as a result of the COLA also increasing significantly over the last several months here, okay? Since the beginning of the year, we've seen the projections moving up significantly, and we're over 3% now as far as the projections. So I know it's still relatively low, but again, 3% is way higher than what it was at the beginning of the year, right? And if we continue to see higher inflation during May and June, and then when we get into those 3 very important months, July, August, and September, when they use that to determine your COLA, we're going to be right there in the money. You see what I'm saying here? So again, very important. And again, we're looking at significantly higher benefits for fixed income beneficiaries based on this higher inflation as well. So that was number 3. And again, I just wanted to focus on that really quickly. Now, number 4, I do want to focus on increased volatility. Now, the last several weeks here, we've been seeing a bunch of volatility in the stock market. Now, again, this is actually providing some opportunities. Now, again, I just want to point this out really quickly. This is not investment advice. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, anything that I've talked about here in this video or any of the videos. However, when there is volatility, generally that offers a bunch of opportunity. Now, again, just want to point this out really quickly. When we see this volatility in the stock market, it's, a lot of indecision is going on. That's generally what is causing volatility, is major announcements causing indecision, basically causing uncertainty with investors and things like this. And they're saying, hey, I don't know what to do with my positions. Do I buy? Do I sell? Do I hold? What do I do? Right? So there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of mixed feelings and of a lot of emotion in the stock market and financial markets as well. Okay. So when you see this volatility, essentially all that is, it's basically just a reflection of emotions in the marketplace, okay, with investors, okay? So that's what it comes down to. So anyway, these are some of the things I've been seeing in the headlines. Now again, there's a lot more to come, I guarantee you that. Between May and June, we're going to see some major announcements, and these are just some of them I continue to see showing up in the headlines a number of times as of recently, and wanted to bring these to your attention because it's very important to realize all of this that's going on, because any one of these things that I pointed out here in this video will impact all of us. In fact, all of it will impact us to some degree, some way, shape, or form. So anyway, just want to point this out really quickly. Again, a huge thank you to HealWell AI and Alex Dobranowski for the amazing interview. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Again, make sure to check out their information down below in the description. I have it all linked down there as well. Check out their ticker symbols. Again, trading on the TSX as well as the OTC markets. Check those out. I have all that linked down below in the description for you. Check that out. Otherwise, again, check out their website. Again, all their information linked down below. So again, if you have not done so, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends on my social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. And make sure to check out HealWell AI. They're doing some amazing stuff super cool to see the technology behind all this and what they're doing here. It's revolutionizing what is going on, right? It's pretty cool to see all this amazing, amazing stuff. So anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to check out HealWell AI down below in the description. Until next time, have a nice day, take care, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.